And welcome to Brocathlon 8, Event 1, BK Race.
To the champions, I compel you.
I'm here with host Ben Druckmann.
Great to be here.
And special guest, Case Race stud, Alexander Lamport.
Hello, friends. How are you today?
No, I should have said great to be here because that's the reason why we are here, is to rewatch this Case race. Always a legendary event to start off Brocathlon.
So let's run down the new rules in Case Race this year. Just like previous years, 30 beers a team.
Wait, you don't want to acknowledge any of the production value here? You're just going to completely leave it?
I'll let you take it away on the production.
No. I don't want to talk shop here. I'm just saying a little praise would have been nice.
That's fair enough. We got some nice picture-in-picture. We got 2 camera angles for you.
Every bro in eyesight.
In eyesight. And sure, Eli may have the head of Aiden and look like a freaking monster in this picture. But the fact of that, this looks jacked. And we're here, what? Has anyone finished the beer yet? Steven, early on, you're double clutching the beers, pounding them back. How are you doing?
Yeah, that was a strategy. The 2 hands for warmth. I had been compared to someone giving a blowjob, but I don't let the haters get me down. It's about just about warming the beer and drinking.
We had a lot of unconventional strategies going into this one. I mean, the water thing. I mean, it might have been the secret to my success the whole time. It's just, I basically drank a bottle of water every hour.
Yeah.
On a normal day.
So that was huge. I looked up some strategies, and they were talking about water and stomach expansion, and the Lamport's like, yeah, I do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just life.
But don't you do it to the point of it being uncomfortable? Is that your life?
I feel very uncomfortable.
Comfortably bloated all the time.
I'm uncomfortable right now.
I'm going to say, in my prep, I was very uncomfortable. So I think when you look at the video, it's important to look at sort of just body, and then how do people look? Ankett's already sitting down. I made the point this year. I sat last year, and it was a bad year for me.
What are you doing right here now with your head and you got the hips?
Yeah. Look, at least I'm standing.
You look a little fatutzt.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
You want to take up a lot of space. That's what Steven's
You're trying to encourage me. I like that. Lamport with the burp. But sitting, I was told, very bad. So
And here we're starting to get to the stage where
This is the
people are
first
just
lap.
trying to walk around, stretch their stomachs around. I never thought that works, to be honest. You see, I stay in the pocket.
Yeah.
So, Lamport, why don't you tell us, as the resident, Case racer, amazing drinker, how should we be prepping? During the event? I mean, just walk us through a Case race.
I think a lot of it comes down to, as you said a little earlier, sprinting out of the gates way too quickly. I think everyone does that, and then you're bound to hit a wall. There is some digestion going on as you slowly drink in the beer. And if you're not cramming it down to the start, it's easier to burp. If you're going at a slow and steady wins the race sort of
It's a
thing.
burping man's game.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Now, unfortunately, in a scenario where they're done in 17 minutes, that plays against me.
Right.
But in a game like this, especially with the vomiting penalties, which in my mind helped my side.
It's a top-heavy rule. It's a top-heavy rule.
Yeah.
It's freedom for all. Well,
But it's also, it becomes far more of a stamina race than a
Yes.
sprint. Because you can't just tap back in after you let yourself go. Look at what Ankett's doing back. He's doing like the squats to like limber. Yep, there he is. There he is, loosening up. Good for him.
So it's always an interesting dynamic in Case Race, Event 1, where people are sort of a little loose and they're having fun. We're at Brocathlon, but at the same time, this counts and it's pretty serious.
You know. At some point, it seems like it flips to me. I don't know if it's like at the halfway mark, or maybe it's at the first vomit when you're like, oh, that's a pivotal point in the race.
it's before the first vomit.
You think?
It's when you hit the wall, and when you know that you hit
Yeah.
the wall, and you're trying to identify who's
That's
not
right.
drinking.
That's right.
But vomiting itself is kind of, it's not something you can take for granted. Because I think last year there were no
There we go.
vomits.
That's right.
Pre.
At least on the winning team.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe after, I think Joe vomited. But you can't always count on that. It's obviously a huge momentum shift. But you don't know if it's going to happen.
Right. right? So this is peak burping time right here. That's what everyone's kind of working on. Everyone's kind of taking their laps. Aiden is still the only one seated. He seems to like that position. He gets a lot of lower body kind of strength to burp out.
I think it's a mistake.
He should probably stand up at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be good if he stood up.
You'd hope his teammates would look out for him.
Yeah, we'll see if that happens later on.
I look in pain. I'm just like grabbing my hair.
You are,
man.
You are.
So Joe, right now we're watching him. He's kind of taking sips. He's got his hand
Joe
in his
just didn't
pocket.
have it.
He didn't have
He
it.
didn't have it.
At no point did he have it. Look at.
Oh, there, I'm walking. Look at me.
Yeah.
The thing about Joe is he looks almost too comfortable. You know,
He looks uncomfortable.
Complacent.
No, look.
He
Yeah,
looks-
yeah, he doesn't look easy into it.
And if you hear Hank in here rallying the team, Ryan also tried to rally
Ryan's
the team.
bring. Yeah. And you'll notice that Joe's not. in
Wait,
this
do you remember what
conversation.
you guys were talking about there, Ben?
I think Ryan told us, yes. Ryan told us how he's feeling great. He can do 3 more beers. He's never felt this good. He knows he's going to do his part. He just wants us to. He's not worried about Joe, so he brought me and Kevin.
He's on a great pace right there. Look at him. He's flying through.
Ryan is our best.
Yeah. No, is that so? I have a question, Lamport. Maybe you can feel this one as a pro drinker. I mean, does that really help?
It can. It depends on the individual. For me, it's just more important to stretch
Right.
as opposed to lap, to loosen up the muscles.
And this is a bit of a motif here. Is Kevin circling the background? I mean, we'll have to keep an eye on that. And see
The
what
vultures
happens.
are circling.
Yeah, he's really trying to kind of get comfortable in the parlor.
Yeah. At this point, I think everyone is sort of feeling it, and something. You know,
What are you slaloming over there?
I'm
Ben?
feeling pretty loose. That's what I was trying to get at.
See, the thing is, if we see Kevin over here, we look at his posture. It's just very rigid. It's not like loosening up anything. He's just sort of walking around. I don't know what that does.
Eli is curled over in the back.
But I actually think that would be more helpful. Just sort of like moving the muscles.
Oh, he's back. Did he?
he did not vomit.
Well,
And if he did, it was
him and
covered by a
Kevin-
pole, so it's fine. It's legal.
He's literally back there over half. It's not good.
And on our side, Lamport finishes
6. Gone.
Bang.
Eli's sitting down on the couch. Oh my goodness.
Let's go. Let you guys listen to a little bit of audio from the case.
Joe, drink beer. I'll burp it.
Finish it off, I'll make that. We got this.
They have 2 guys who hit an absolute wall right now.
You gotta say that. You got this.
Yes. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, until that one of those wet burps are wet.
You gotta throw it.
See it wet.
He's
See
good.
it moist. The burp.
We're almost there, guys.
Hey,
I'm good.
this is the time.
Now remember, of course, when we talked about Aiden needing to stand up for a bit, let's take a look at what happens here. What do you think's gonna happen?
Takes his teammates' advice. Looks pretty good. What's happening?
Oh no! Let's watch it. 2 pictures in a little slow motion.
Yeah, he's got the stretch going up, following his teammates' advice. He said he was good when Lamport checked in on him.
He was not good.
Was he lying?
Maybe he just didn't know. It's hard to tell sometimes.
I think he knew right here.
That's the moment.
That's the moment.
That's the moment. And then spew.
And that's the moment we all knew.
And that's absolutely devastating in this event. We have a lead, we're up a lot of beers, and not only do we add a beer, we lose a player. So we're down a man. The 31st beer is in play.
Dan, how did the DeBules feel?
There's actually some conflict. Let's see it play out. A little conflicting attitudes. You know, I was ecstatic. This is the first point I felt like we had a more than 50% chance of winning.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't think we needed to attack right away.
before that you were in rough shape. You guys were down, and this kind of gives you new life.
You know, Ryan here wants to push the advantage right away. I'm excited. I'm pumped. But you need that beer to settle down. So right here we're just trying to away at the gaps.
Yeah, I mean you can see the body language change. Ryan's pumped, you're pumped.
And how are you feeling? Did you expect this at all time? What is your game plan? You're your man now.
Yeah, personally I was pretty devastated. Because we had this in hand, and now everything is just kind of called into question.
Did you think you could lose?
I wasn't that discouraged, to be honest. I don't, because it's not like we lost one of our chief drinkers. the trifecta, the troika, is still in the mix.
I mean, did it feel like it was a U4 against the world now? The ball's kind of close in a little bit. Can you get that feeling?
You know, Lampard is confident. I can only speak for myself, and I was a little nervous. I think, you know, we kept drinking.
And get really feeling the moment.
Jay drinking 2 beers. And Ryan trying to motivate Kevin. How is he doing? We saw him walking around earlier. Is he drinking? Is he putting anything away, or is he kind of just
Look,
kind of burp?
He's struggling a bit. He's
yeah.
holding it back.
I think we may want to keep our eyes on him for a little bit.
Yeah.
Finally gets his hand on a beer and he puts it back down.
So
Oh, but
Eli's
he's
got
No, he couldn't.
Eli's got 3 in front of him, but the rest of your drinkers are making pretty good work of their beers. But it looks like maybe 8 left. You guys got a little work to do.
Joe isn't drinking.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean,
He's just looking far off into the distance, holding to it. What's he? He's zoning
He
out.
must be very high. All right, maybe it's time to go back to a little picture-in-picture. And I say again, it might be best to keep our eyes. Kevin, how's he doing? You know,
That's the thing about motifs. They pop up every now and again.
when Kevin starts pacing, you're always a little concerned. I mean, he's got a history of the pace and, you know.
pace into race,
Exactly.
kind of thing.
So here he is, by the ping pong tables.
No, just Ryan and I are drinking. Kevin's taking care of himself. Jake's still pounding.
He looks back.
Where's Kevin? Oh!
Damn.
What are you guys talking about? I didn't say anything.
Oh, wait, you see it now? You see it?
Oh,
Oh, no! Oh, man, what happened there, Ben? Why don't you just walk us through this whole thing?
Well, let's take a look at Kevin.
I think it starts with what we didn't see.
Oh, boy.
You know, here we're still blissfully unawares until Kevin.
Until he apologizes. And then there you go.
Oh, boy.
Almost instantly captured. And the reaction from
Look at
Joe
Joe.
Play, I think, is just priceless, right?
It was just cry laughing.
Ryan is done.
Right, yeah.
And that had to be the end, right?
That's it. You know, it's an interesting reaction from the fields. Ryan devastated. Joe and Eli kind of laughing it off.
I'm laughing too. Like, I think that was Aiden is having.
Like a Jake.
Right. Kevin's cleaning up. What a match. But
It was.
Ryan,
I think it was a lot funnier for us.
but Ryan did it, and Joe's still laughing.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you got to think it's over.
It is over.
There's a Beatles at 3. We've got 4. You add 2 more beers, and I mean, you don't really want. I mean, it's over.
I think what's kind of crazy about this is probably the biggest swing we've ever seen in the event.
Yeah.
Again, in terms of win probability,
Oh, the win probability graph.
it went from 50, you know, or like 50 plus to 0 in a matter of 10 seconds.
I mean, just by the extra drinker, I thought you were at least in like the 60s too.
Let's say that. Yeah.
Let's say it.
Let's say it.
So now, you know, I remember still feeling kind of like anxious, but there was really no need to be. Hank was trying to say, like, dude, calm down. I mean, we're basically, we just can't love it. I think the one way we lose is to love it, especially if it came from a stronger player.
Let's listen in here to see how Hank responds to the situation. Yeah, both teams are kind of just, no one's really drinking other than Lamport. Everyone's kind of just recounting what's going on. Kevin and I, the losers brigade, are just talking about what went on.
Yeah, and we've never really seen this in case.
You guys are already dancing. here.
Alright, wait, who's gonna have the ball?
Oh. Take us home.
This belongs to you now. The goat Thursday is goat. Fucking Alex Lamport, the fucking goat.
Motherfuckers, it's just one event. We have 5 more to go. 5 more to go. 5. That's a difference. But I see boats. I see roads. I see the future. I see the future. When I say boats, you say roads.
Fear. Let's go, baby.
Boats! Roads! Boats! Roads! Roads! Roads!
We won by
10. That's absurd.
10 beers.
That's the biggest blowout in K-Swiss history, isn't it?
And it was also at least twice as long as
With
last
the
year.
draw! With the vomit! With the vomit!
I'm sorry about that.
Why are you fucking? You did your work.
I'm gonna say it was strategic. I threw up to make them excited. 2 of them threw up right after that rush of excitement.
The double throw, one is the game.
It was strategic. It's fine.
You know, send a little picture of the, what fucking post though? I think this one has it all. They posted just the line. I am drunk on my nose. And I will. This is the shower. We're in the shower. With our water leak. I'm not going to do hands on this one. We got there. No, you fucking need to
2,500 calories and then don't eat or drink anything. Oh, we should also stop this video, by the way.
Yeah.
1-0
boats and roads.
I have to say,
Let him say.
Say it.
this was a fucking embarrassment on your part. How many beers are left on the table? Fuck you!
Can I zoom in? Listen.
Yeah.
To 28-year-olds around the country, apply for the AARP membership. AARP, what can we?
You fucking old, whitewashed ass motherfuckers!
Boats and roads.
Boats and roads! Gotta have me on boats and roads!
Aiden, first Brocathlon event. You know, it was a case race. You've seen video of it before.
Yeah.
How do you think it went? What was your first?
I thought so. Starting off, it was pretty stellar pace you guys were on last year. I was trying to work on that pace too. Partway through, I pivoted strategies. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna sprint. I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna draw Kevin and Ben off to think they can make a sprint to win. Completely worked. Bombed out immediately after Ryan tried to get them around. And then we pulled out the easy casual win at 37 minutes. Like more than twice last year's time. So, you know, good for me. I take full credit.
Impressive.
Yeah.
So you came out here with the intention to vomit.
Oh yeah, no, I
as a
swallowed
decoy.
an Epicac with my last beer just like to ready it. It was all something. No, it wasn't.
the worst water I ever
Welcome to Brocathlon. Happy to have you.
Happy to be here. We got a lot of time
Let's see
coming for it.